I'm a G first. I know I'm a bad bitch, but I met a bad boy, and he worst. Oh, you think you done found you a dumb chick? Nope, going, do your research. I'ma break a nigga heart over and over until he screams nurse. Call that bitch to fix it. I'ma tell him straight up, no slick shit. I done gave you my heart, gave you my trust. Niggas will give in to lust. Okay, then you wanna play, let's play. Baddies never need new daddy on the way. Maybe I'll call up that baller I met at the Louis store. He looked like a spoiler. I'ma make him spend on me every dollar. Then I'll put that dog on a leash, new collar. I'ma holler, fuck this nigga that I'm with, cause he don't even love me. He getting too comfortable, like he think nobody wants me. Oh, you made a mistake, oh, that's so disappointing. Now I guess it's my turn, time for some flaunting. G first, I'm a G first. I know I'm a bad bitch, but I met a bad boy, and he worse. Oh, you think you done found you a dumb chick? Nope, going, do your research. I'ma break a nigga heart over and over until he scream nurse. Call that bitch to fix it. I'ma tell him straight up, no slick shit. I'm tired of these niggas. I swear I'm so tired of these niggas. I'm lying to these niggas. I'm cashing out, then I'm firing these niggas. G first, I'm a G first. I know I'm a bad bitch, but I met a bad boy, and he worse. Oh, you think you done found you a dumb chick? No, going, do your research. I'ma break a nigga heart over and over until he scream nurse. Call that bitch to fix it. I'ma tell him straight up, no slick shit.
Megan Thee Stallion and Roc Nation's reported plan to make Klay Thompson look bad is starting to fall apart in real time. Instead of a clean split, this whole situation is turning into another loud public storyline. Most celebrities break up quietly. One day they stop posting together, unfollow each other, delete the couple pictures, and months later everybody connects the dots. Simple. But with Megan, it never feels that simple. Every breakup seems to come with a rollout, a narrative, and some dramatic push to make her look like the one who was wronged. That is why people are side-eyeing this Klay situation now. Think back to the era when Megan was winning almost every award in sight. Every show, every stage, every headline had her name on it. She even won Songwriter of the Year, which had people talking crazy online. During that whole run, one thing kept showing up again and again, and nobody could ignore it. There was a whole media cycle where Megan Thee Stallion was being framed as the victim. Every headline, every segment, every award show moment pushed that same angle. She would walk on those stages and get treated like the entire room owed her sympathy, with crowds standing, clapping, and praising her like she represented resilience itself. That image stuck heavy in the public eye, and it became part of her brand whether people agreed with it or not. Then came the situation with Klay Thompson, and suddenly it looked like a different play was being set up.
Oh my God. Ah!
The perception online was that she saw an opportunity to shift her image into something softer and more reserved, almost like a complete rebrand. People started noticing the change in tone, the way she carried herself, and how different everything looked compared to before.
Oh my God.
There was even that moment on the golf course, riding around in a cart with Klay, trying to present a completely different lifestyle, acting unfamiliar with things she had clearly been around before, moving like a totally new version of herself. And that is where people started questioning everything, because in the age of the internet, nothing just disappears, and every version of you is still out there for people to compare. She really thought Klay Thompson was going to fall for that act, and people picked up on it fast. The switch up felt obvious. One moment she is playing this soft, reserved role, moving like everything is new to her, and the next moment the internet is pulling up clips that show a completely different energy. That whole "I've never done this before" image started looking shaky real quick, and the acting did not convince everybody. Before Klay even entered the picture, Thee Stallion was already living a very public lifestyle, and there is plenty of footage online to back that up. That is why people were confused watching the sudden shift. It did not match what they had already seen. And in today's world, once something is out there, it stays there. You cannot just rewrite the narrative and expect nobody to notice. Now, looking at it from Klay's side, the situation starts to make more sense. This is someone with a long career, major success, and a reputation he has kept relatively clean. The idea that he was going to jump into something serious without paying attention to the bigger picture just does not line up. From the outside, it looked like he was not taking any of it too seriously, and that alone changed how everything played out. Once it became clear that this rebrand angle was not landing the way it was supposed to, the tone shifted again. Suddenly, things got more public, more emotional, and more direct. Megan took to social media and shared her side, writing, "Cheating had me around your whole family playing house," and describing how she felt during the relationship. That post added fuel to the situation and pulled even more attention into what was already turning into a messy public fallout. Now, when she says she is unsure about being monogamous and needs a real break, that line says more than people think. It sounds like expectations were already set way higher behind the scenes. When she mentioned cold feet, it came off like she believed the relationship was already locked in at a serious level, like she had that role secured and everything was moving towards something official. From the outside, it looked like she was stepping fully into that position, moving like everything was already established. Cooking, spending time together, showing that more settled side, all of it pointed toward her thinking this situation was deeper than it actually was. That is why the reaction hit harder when things did not go the way she expected. But when you look at Klay Thompson, the idea that he would be easily impressed or caught off guard does not really add up. He has been in high-profile environments for years, surrounded by attention and different personalities, acting like he had never seen confidence, charm, or strong personalities before just does not match reality. That is where the disconnect really shows. If she believed she was bringing something completely new into his world, people online were quick to question that logic. His background, especially spending years in places known for fast-paced lifestyles and strong personalities, suggests he was not unfamiliar with any of it. And once that reality set in, the situation started to shift even more publicly. So from that angle, it looked like she thought she had everything locked in, and then suddenly, Klay Thompson pulled back. The way it came across publicly, he made it clear he was not trying to be tied down, not trying to play the role she expected. That shift changed everything, because once that message landed, the reaction was immediate and very public. Instead of keeping it private, the situation spilled onto social media fast. That is where people started using the term crash out, because the posts felt emotional and direct. Most people go through breakups, deal with disappointment, and handle it quietly. They remove the pictures, step back, and keep moving without turning it into a public storyline. Look at how Lori Harvey moves in similar situations. When her relationships end, there is no drawn-out online reaction, no long explanations, no public breakdowns. She simply removes the person from her page and moves forward. That approach signals confidence and control, and people recognize that instantly. But with Thee Stallion, the pattern looks different, and that is why it keeps getting attention. The moment things go left, it becomes public and the narrative shifts again. And once something gets posted online, even if it was not meant to stay up, it is already out there and people are going to react to it regardless.
Real hot girl shit. Real hot girl shit. Did y'all have fun at the Moulin Rouge? Make some noise for the whole ensemble.
But it did not stop at social media posts. Thee Stallion went a step further and gave a statement to TMZ, and that is where things really turned into a full media moment. Instead of letting the situation cool off, it got pushed even more into the spotlight. The statement made it clear she was framing the breakup on her terms, emphasizing that it was her decision and laying out values like trust, loyalty, and respect. On paper, the message sounded calm and controlled, talking about peace and clarity and focusing on moving forward. But the way it played out publicly told a different story. Because when you say you want privacy and peace, then immediately bring everything into the public eye, people start questioning the consistency of that message. From there, the expectation seemed obvious. The narrative was supposed to shift against Klay Thompson, with the public reacting strongly to her side of the story. But instead of that happening, the reaction came back mixed. People were not all lining up on one side, and that changed the entire outcome of the situation. Then it escalated even more. Clips started circulating, including emotional moments from her performances, where she appeared visibly affected while addressing the situation on stage. That added another layer to the story, but instead of fully turning public opinion, it made the entire situation feel even more complicated and harder to control. At this point, a lot of people started calling the whole situation out as pure PR aimed at damaging Klay Thompson's image. The emotional moments, the timing, the rollout of clips, it all felt calculated to some viewers. Once those performance clips hit the blogs, they spread fast, and almost every page was pushing the same angle, showing her getting emotional on stage and linking it directly to the breakup. That is where the skepticism really kicked in. People began questioning whether those moments were being presented in a way to influence public opinion. The narrative started to feel like it was steering viewers toward one conclusion, and not everyone was convinced by it. Instead of full sympathy, there was a noticeable split in reactions across social media. There was also a bigger conversation forming around how this was being framed overall. Some tried to turn it into a broader issue, but others pushed back and said this situation is specific to Thee Stallion as an individual case. They pointed out that both sides involved are public figures, and reducing it to something wider ignores the actual details of what played out. In the end, the reaction did not land the way it may have been expected. Instead of a one-sided wave of support, the audience response stayed divided, with many people questioning the intent behind how everything was presented and whether the full story was being shown. At this stage, the reactions online took a different turn, especially from personalities like Lonnie Love and others who jumped into the conversation with their own takes. Some of it was clearly meant to be humorous, with jokes suggesting that Klay Thompson handled the situation strategically. Comments like calling him calculated or saying he knew exactly how things would play out started circulating fast, and people were sharing them everywhere. Then you had voices like DJ Academics adding fuel to the discussion. He took to social media and framed it from a completely different angle, pointing out Klay's background, his career success, and the fact that he has always been in high-profile environments. The message there was simple, that expecting him to suddenly switch into a completely different lifestyle was unrealistic, and that perspective picked up traction quickly online. All of this contributed to a wider reaction, where sympathy was not landing the way it might have been expected from Thee Stallion. Instead, a lot of the commentary leaned into jokes, observations, and comparisons, which shifted the tone of the conversation away from support and into debate. That alone shows how unpredictable public opinion can be when a situation plays out this openly. And when you look at the overall response, it becomes clear why the conversation kept growing. Different groups interpreted the situation in completely different ways, and instead of one clear narrative taking over, it turned into a mix of humor, criticism, and ongoing discussion that kept the spotlight on both sides. That theory kept circulating online, and it did not slow down once Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson were seen together. Social media filled up with think pieces trying to break down what the relationship meant. One viral take claimed that some men reacted strongly because they viewed Megan a certain way before, but suddenly saw a high-profile athlete treating her seriously, and that contrast sparked debate everywhere. That same argument turned into a bigger conversation about standards and expectations. Some people framed it like Megan represented a shift, where lifestyle choices would not affect long-term relationship outcomes. The idea being pushed was that status and success could override everything else.
Come on, man. Every single nigga that Thee Stallion, bro, she ends up linking up with, bro. I'ma keep. It's always she just ends up ruining them, bro. I'ma keep it buck, bro. She sent a nigga away for a year. So far, wait, no, hell no. I said a year. For multiple years and lied on him. Come on, gang. Sorry, bro. I can never be looking at this girl and be like, damn, that happened. I feel bad. Hell no.
And that message spread quickly across different platforms. But when things did not play out that way, the tone shifted again. Once it became clear that the relationship was not heading towards something permanent, a lot of those earlier arguments started getting challenged. People pointed out that real-life dynamics do not always match online theories, and that situation became an example used in those debates. Then you had figures like DJ Academics continuing to comment on it, adding more controversial takes that kept the conversation active. His posts leaned into humor and exaggeration, which only amplified the attention. And by that point, the entire situation had moved beyond just two people, turning into a full-blown online discussion about relationships, perception, and expectations. Then the conversation took another sharp turn, with people bringing up comparisons that only made things more intense. Names like Stephen Curry and Aisha Curry started getting mentioned, with users online pointing out how different public perceptions can be when it comes to relationships. That comparison alone added a whole new layer to the debate, even though it had nothing to do with the actual situation. Some commentary focused on how public image plays a role in how couples are viewed in certain spaces. The idea being pushed was that reputation, past narratives, and public perception all influence how people react when two figures are seen together. Once those comparisons started spreading, the discussion moved further away from facts and deeper into opinion-driven territory. At the same time, voices like DJ Academics kept the situation trending by sharing their own takes. His comments leaned into support for Klay Thompson, while also adding more fuel to the ongoing conversation. That only increased the attention, bringing in more reactions from different sides of the audience. Despite all the noise, one thing stayed consistent across most responses. People generally agreed that situations like this are rarely one-sided, and that public reactions do not always reflect the full reality. The conversation kept growing, but it also became clear that opinions were split, and not everyone was buying into a single narrative about what really happened. Nobody is out here saying cheating is acceptable, and that part is clear across the board. Most people agree that if a relationship is not working, it should end without deception or mixed signals. That standard applies no matter who is involved, and that is not really where the pushback is coming from in this situation. What people are reacting to is the perception that things escalated into a public campaign after the breakup. The concern being raised online is that once the relationship ended, the situation shifted into something more strategic, with narratives being pushed that could damage Klay Thompson's reputation. That is where the resistance is building, not around the breakup itself, but around how it is being handled afterward. There is a general expectation that both sides move on and handle things privately. Instead, the involvement of media outlets like TMZ and the steady flow of updates kept the story active. That made it feel less like a personal situation and more like a public storyline, which is why people started questioning the intent behind it. At the same time, there is still acknowledgement that relationships are complex and emotions run high when things fall apart. But the main argument being repeated is simple: end the relationship, separate cleanly, and move forward without turning it into a prolonged public dispute that keeps pulling both sides back into the spotlight. And when you actually look at the timeline from start to finish, the reaction has been turning more and more against her, and that is what makes this whole situation wild. It feels like the strategy got pushed too far, and instead of gaining support, it started creating more doubt. Step by step, every new development just added more noise and more opinions into the mix. You even had past figures connected to Thee Stallion popping back up in the conversation. Freestyles, comments, and subtle shots started circulating, all adding to the narrative. Then random voices online jumped in too, like streamers and commentators reacting in real time, some even saying they supported Klay Thompson in the situation for their own reasons. And somehow, older controversies kept getting dragged back into the spotlight, including discussions involving Tory Lanez. That only made things messier, because now the conversation was not just about one relationship anymore. It turned into a pile of past opinions, debates, and unresolved narratives all colliding at once. Now the entire situation is split down the middle. Some people believe she was genuinely reacting to a bad situation, while others feel like it turned into something more calculated against Klay. Get in the comments and speak on it. Do you feel bad for Thee Stallion, or do you think this whole situation was taken too far? Subscribe to Dripzine for more breakdowns like this.